Hello, and welcome back to the channel. This is Coach Vic. This is Finding Your 40. Thank you for coming back to the channel. Thank you for continuing to come to the channel and support Finding Your 40. And thank you for continuing to move and progress through this particular program with me, and just finding your lane to your best level of you, the greatest version of you is what Finding Your 40 is all about. The last segment we talked about the mandate. And talked about how the mandate drives you and gives you purpose and helps you to continue to wake up in the morning and moving places that you want to go and do things you want to do. Helps you to define your purpose and your vision. Helps you to continue to operate and give you passion and drive to do what you're supposed to do. And today we're going to talk about the mindset and the mantle. And it's so important that we understand that we don't have the right mindset, and when walking in our mandate, we will begin to destroy things. Because as I told you before, your gift makes room for you and brings you before great men. And so your mandate is going to put you in rooms that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to go into, just because of the fact that your purpose is for you to be there. Your life's work is for you to be there. The thing you do, were created for, put you in that room. And so if you don't have the right mindset going into that room, you're going to miss on every opportunity that you have in that room. You're going to miss the people that are in there. You're going to miss what you're there for. You're going to miss the whole process of your development if you don't have the right mindset. And so today we're going to talk about mindset. And I'm going to do a little bit more reading like I did yesterday. Let's just so we can have a smooth transition, a smooth travel, a smooth pathway for what we're doing here. We begin the journey in segment one. Segment one was about the mandate, purpose, and vision. We put everything in context so that we could understand the natural progression. There's a natural progression. Once you understand your mandate, once you understand once you know your purpose, what you're here for, once you begin to establish your vision, we talk about vision and visioneering, and you know what you're going to do. Now you begin putting things together. So you have to have a mindset and the mantle. And today we're going to travel a little further down the road, and we will deal with our thoughts, our thought patterns, and our thought processes. This is our mindset. And today we'll talk about the mindset and the mantle. Most of you are probably wondering what I mean when I say mantle. The word mantle, if you would look at the Old Testament, the prophets all had a mantle. It was a cloak with the hood on it that they walked around with, and identified them as a prophet. Kind of like a king when he wears his robe. When all the kings got together, none of them had the same robe on. And so you could tell which king was from where based on what is on the insignia on his robe, all the different decorations and decorum on his robe, based on that. And so the mantle is kind of the prophet's robe. It's a cloak, and it has a hood on it most of the time, and most of the time it's sleeveless, but it identifies the prophet as the prophet. And so for us, but it also held the prophet's gift. So for us, we're going to look at the mantle not as a physical cloak or physical garment, but as a mental gift. It's a place where we find our gifting. It's a place where we find our calling. It's a place where we operate our gift from. And that's what our mantle is going to be. And so when we talk about a mindset, the mindset is how we use our gift, and the mantle is the gift itself. And so we have the mindset and the mantle. We have the how we operate in the things we do, how we walk in things we do, how we work the way we work, how we move the way we move. All of our vibrational characteristics and tendencies, all those things are wrapped up in our mindset. And then the operation, the flow of the things we do. If we're a writer, how well we write. If we are an athlete, how well we play. Things that we do. There's certain things that require natural practice. Practice in order to get things right. But there's certain natural gifts that we have that are innate to us. That are part of our mantle. This is part of our mantle. This is part of what we were born with. It was owned in our environment that we grew up in. It was owned and whether we were isolated or we were with other people. All these things, come together to help us to better form our mandate, and we'll be refined by our mandate. Amen. We're refined by our mantle. We're refined by our mandate, but we operate in our mantle. So we talked about the kings, So it says right here, no, none of us have the same mantle. Your mantle, or the place where your power and authority for your gift come from, are tailored uniquely to you. And what I mean by that is, where you grew up, where you worked, where you went to school, your family, your environment, everything around you helped to form and shape your mandate. And so your mandate, your mantle. Your mantle and my mantle are not going to be the same because we didn't grow up in the same place, we didn't grow up in the same house, we didn't have the same emotions, we didn't get treated the same. There's a whole lot of things that were different between you and me that helped me to form my mantle and your mantle. But also understand also that your mantle is complementary to your mandate. And so for that reason alone, it's not going to be the same for two people, for two people, because they're not, both of us can have the same mandate. But in my mandate, my mantle and the gifts that are tucked away in my mantle all complement my mandate. Those are all, they all help me to get to the place that my mandate is taking me to. The whole point and purpose of my mandate and my mantle, and for them to work together to make sure that I get to where I'm supposed to go. So the mandate drives me, and the gifts and calling that are touched with my mantle, but they continue to push me. They allow me to thrive as my mandate is driving me. And that's best way I can really explain it for you right now. But we're going to continue and see if we can get further down into it. This is why it's important to monitor your mindset, because we don't always know when we are operating under our mantle. Listen, your mantle becomes a part of you. And so no matter what's going on in your life, you're always going to be operating out of your gift. You're going to be speaking out of your gift. You're going to be moving out of your gift. You're going to be flowing in your gift. And so when you don't have the right mindset, when you're angry, when you're frustrated, when you're aggravated, or when you have fear, when you have sadness, when you're happy, when you have joy, no matter what your emotions might be, your mantle is still working inside of you, working to push the gift out of you. And so we talk about life and death in the power of the tongue. And so when if you're not careful when you're speaking to someone, and your mantle might be prophetic words or prophecy, and you're speaking and you begin speaking negatively to people or about yourself, then you begin to be a self-fulfilling prophet. But also you begin to speak curse to other people, and so we don't want to do that. Our purpose is to make ourselves better, so that we can make the entire environment and ecosystem around us better, so that everything around us blooms, blossoms, and grows. Blooms, blossoms, and grows. Blooms, blossoms, and grows. And this is exactly what we want. We want everything around us to grow, because the more the things around us grow, the more we grow. The more those things elevate, the more we elevate with those things as well. And so it's important for us to understand that our mandate and our mantle, when they're speaking out, if they're speaking out of a mindset that is wrecked and full of havoc, then you will find yourself repeating cycles and events over and over again, because of the fact that you have not figured out how to get out of the wrong mindset. Let us go on. What I'm saying is there's not a gift or no gift switch, no gift switch installed for us to turn on and turn off. So you don't know when you're moving in and out of your gift. The more you use it, the more you become accustomed to it, the more you will know when you're flowing in it. It'll be really smooth and almost like melodic. It'll be like a different kind of rhythm, different kind of flow to you, different kind of flow to your words, different kind of flow to your actions, your movements. All this stuff will kind of all come together and really be rhythmic. As you begin to move in your gift. Man, it's amazing. As we mature, it becomes part of who we are naturally. Therefore, we must always be very cautious of our mood swings, negative thoughts, and negative thought patterns. One such pattern is called a scarcity mindset. This is a mindset that operates with the idea that all of our resources are limited. Everything around us is limited, and we become hyper-fixated on short-term solutions or coping rather than long-term problem solving. We fixate only on what's immediately in front of us, and we don't properly prepare to go the distance. It will be like a distance runner, a marathon runner, training for marathons by running 100 meter dashes. You would have enough strength to get to 100 meters, but you don't have enough strength to go the long 26.2 miles that's required when you run a marathon. And so you have to understand that when you have a scarcity mindset, when you think that everything around you is limited, then you begin to think of yourself as being limited. And so when you become limited, you begin to act and move in that way, in a limited proximity, and you only do what's close to you. You only believe what's close to you, and you can only believe what you see, and you'll never be able to imagine or create because you're limited. You're limited in your thinking. You're limited in your ideas. You're limited in your actions. You're limited in your movement, and so you can't create from a limited mindset. You can't. It's just not what you're going to create. It's not going to be sustainable. And so, as we continue, the reason this mindset is negative or is often times it leads to a continuous cycle. Once we become trapped in this cycle, it is difficult to find a way out. The reason being is repetitive behaviors lead to habits, and habits lead to lifestyles, and the chain of events continues over and over and over again. And once you develop a bad habit, and you continue to operate in that bad habit, it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes part of who you are. It becomes part of your nature. It becomes part of how you move and operate. And what that does is it's like, you can't get away from that. You can't stop doing that thing. You're not even consciously doing it most of the time. Once it becomes part of you, becomes innate to you. You're not even aware that you're doing it anymore. You lose self-awareness, in certain areas of your life because of this mindset, because of the scarcity mindset. And when you lose your self-awareness, it becomes difficult for you to really be able to look at the world and look at life and look at it to have a valid picture of it because your mind is operating only out of limitation. Amen. But let's stop right there. We can change it right now. We can change it right here and right now. We can change it right here and right now. We can change it right here and right now. What we don't have, we have to stop thinking about and meditating on what we don't have, and learn to start where we are and build right where we are. We are as we begin moving in our mandate, and we become aware of our mindset. We will see just how much what we are attracted to is attracted to us. And what I'm saying is, and I tell people about this, a lot of times I talk about when I first started putting Refeed together, and I had no idea about being a CEO or about being a founder, about a business. I knew about training. I knew about CVs and resumes. I knew about counseling and how to comfortable in their career and how to help them make better decisions. But I didn't know about being a CEO. I didn't know about being a founder. I didn't know about leading people from different nations and different cultures, into better opportunities. I knew it was something I wanted to do. I knew it was something I had a passion for, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know about it. And so I began putting it together. I began looking into it and doing more and more research. The more I researched things, the more things I was researching, the more ideas were coming to me. The more people contacting me. The more I was having meetings with people I had no idea I was going to meetings with. People were asking me what help I needed. All these things began. So I began to put things in place, and I actually began to meet with some investors and put together a pitch deck I'd never done that before. Put together my elevator pitch. I'd never done that before. You're like a 20-second pitch. That you're introducing your company, your purpose, and trying to get people interested in what you're doing, enough to ask questions so you can start the meeting. And so it was really, really cool to go through that process. But before I started walking it out, I had no idea about it. And this is when you have a scarcity mindset, when you're focusing on the how. I talk about that all the time in the book. I talk about it in the earlier videos too. But something when you only focus on the how, and you don't have research, you don't see other resources that are going to come to you. You will not operate fully in what you know. You will not push forward because you're going to be afraid that that when you get to a certain point, you're not going to have what you need. But you have to understand, and you have to really begin to take hold of the fact that what you need is already inside of you. It's waiting to be birthed out. And the more you push toward what your goal is, the more you push toward what your mentor tells you to push toward, the more you operate in your mantle, the more you operate in a mindset of abundance, the mindset of growth, and the growth mindset, and you continue to challenge yourself, and you continue to challenge what you think and what you believe, and move forward, and really begin to get to that place where the skies, nothing can limit you, nothing can stop you, you're unstoppable. Then you begin to understand, and you begin to see just how things begin to come to you. Naturally, things begin to come to you. People begin to come to you. Ideas begin to come to you. Creations begin to come to you. Opportunities begin to come to you. Why? Because you're moving into what you believe, and your movement is causing friction. Friction causes heat. Heat causes fire, and everything is drawn to the fire. Moths. When it's cold outside, people can stand on a barrel fire for hours, trying to stay warm and have conversation, and you never know what you're talking about. You meet somebody that you didn't know you were going to meet that day, but you did, and the conversation turned into something about business, and the person was an investor, working at an investment bank, and all of a sudden, your idea takes flight because you're operating out of your mantle, you're moving in your mandate, and now the movement and the mantle, the gifting and the movement come together, and now you're creating opportunities for yourself. Did you hear what I said? You're creating opportunities. You're not waiting for an opportunity, you're creating opportunities. For yourself, you're creating meetings, you're creating visualizations, you're creating ideal settings, you're creating rooms to go into just because of the fact that you're moving in what you're supposed to move in, and you're flowing what you're supposed to flow in. So this is Coach Vic. This is Pioneer Your 40. This is the mindset and the mantle today. Moving in your gift, moving in the right mindset, growth mindset, not scarcity mindset, abundance mindset, understanding and visualizing and creating opportunities for yourself. And then this is what we're doing today. We're going to continue down the road. Tomorrow or next segment, we'll talk about the mission and missed opportunities, and how to get those opportunities back. Again, Coach Vic, Pioneer 40. God bless you. Have a good day, and we're out.